Hey folks, Jonathan here. I figured that probably the best bet would be get the boiler set up and done first, and go ahead and get the do the foundation the way I want to do it for the boiler, and then we will get it set up and done, and then we're gonna start on the steam engine foundations and start fabricating and getting some stuff straightened out. But here's the deal. I built my axle, and as you can see, cutting in and inspecting, it turned. I guess I should have put a flat on it. If I had it to do again, that's what I would have done. But we've got it welded up there good enough. I mean, it's not going anywhere. I mean, where can it go? It's under it. So I just wish I'd have done something a little different where it wouldn't turn. I didn't think much about that. So anyway, it's chained on good, and should hold up just fine. Well, I've already moved it, so I moved it back here where we could get this rear cover off. We wanted to get this end off, and what this was for, it had a door on it, nice big pretty door that was destroyed unfortunately, and that's the only piece of the door besides part of the ring that I've got. I've only got about less than half of it, the ring, but well, I guess that's part of the ring. So I guess this would have been solid, and this would have been the end cap, and the doors probably would have been below it. And them doors would have been to clean out the flues. So the top section up here, which is what that is, you wouldn't need to get to, but all the 44 flues you'd have to get to. And these are flues on this one and not water pipes, because water didn't run through them. Smoke and heat ran through them. So down at the bottom here, this would not have been a fire in there. That would have been water in there. They would have had a strap, and it would have bolted in and pulled up tight against there. So that would have been all water, and then underneath would have been the fire, and the heat would have traveled from here. There would have been a little shelf here underneath that kept the ash from coming this way and the coals, but the heat would have traveled all the way up to the front here, and then there would have been a concrete wall somewhere up here, and the heat would have come up, and then there would, at the top of the concrete wall, would have been a curve in, so it sort of forced the heat in this way, and then it would have run through the flues and then come out into this area and up through the stack, which would have been at the top of this, and would have went straight up from here. So we took the cover off, and of course every one of the studs broke, which I figured they would. I ended up just cutting the strap on one of them, but one was already broke, and then the other ones I just put the impact on and they sheared off, but that's okay. We'll just cut them off smooth and grind them and leave it, because we're not going to put an end on it. I mean, we may later if I can find a door or some doors or something, but I've already seen that the full 5-foot circle with the doors at these antique shops, I guess you could call them, like the New York City ones and stuff like that, where people are buying these things to put in their fancy apartments. They're asking anywhere from like $10,000 to $12,500 just for the ends of the doors. So chances of ever finding any or getting any is going to be slim to none. I do have a special smoke box door that I've been saving for a long time, that I picked up at a garage sale years back, and it's actually Lee Iron Works in Sanford, North Carolina. But the problem is nobody can seem to find out who Lee Iron Works is in Sanford, North Carolina. There's a Lee Iron and Metal, which started way later. Definitely not it. And then there's a Hallman Foundry, and the Hallman Foundry has always been the Hallman Foundry, and they're still in business. And then there's actually the iron furnace that made cannonballs for the Confederates, and I don't know if Lee Iron Works was possible to be involved with them or not, but I'll show you the door, but maybe we can incorporate into that door into what we're doing here somehow, since it's local history. So all right, let me get at it. We're going to get this thing pressure washed. I think that's the next thing I want to do, because It's not so bad on this side, but there's some mud and stuff, but I want to blow out these flues with the pressure washer. And there's mud where this thing was sitting up there, and I don't think the sandblaster will do a good job on thick mud like that. So we're going to get up there and get it sandblasted and cleaned up here. And this thing has not gotten any lighter whatsoever. It's like a piece of lead, and after picking it up with the wrecker here, I'm kind of amazed that we was able to winch it out of there. Something this size, it's just hard to believe that it's that heavy. But I guess looking at the flywheels being 9,000 pounds, or well, 8,900 pounds for both flywheels, for both halves, so I guess that thing could probably easily be, more than that. All right, show you more. All right, folks, first round of pressure washing's done. Run out of gas, so time to get some. But wanted to show you, sitting here resting here a minute and looking at the inside of this, and see where they cut out for the smokestack, all drilled. Evidently they didn't have any oxygen acetylene or nothing else to cut it with. It looks like it just drilled a million holes around it and then knocked it out, which is the way I used to build stuff a long time ago before I had a milling machine. But yeah, that's something else there. That's a lot of holes. I hope they had electric drills, all I got to say. Okay, folks, my wife and I worked on this thing for a couple days and descaled it and wire brushed it and spent some time on it. And then we've got primer on it now. We've still got a lot of pitting, but we're not going to worry about that, fix that. But that son. So it's early in the morning. We're waiting on the dew to dry off of it. Just run down it, and we're going to go ahead and paint it black. So I found some numbers and some stamps on it and stuff here. Probably boiler inspection. So anyway, you can see the fitting. Pretty heavy, but I mean not nearly heavy enough to go through as thick as this thing is. But we're going to try to get some black on it here shortly, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, folks, first coat of black's on. Looking pretty good. Pitted, but we knew it was going to be. But we're moving in the right direction. You can see all my runs I got here where I was trying to get in them holes. But this stuff's so thin, I had it so thin that when you paint over it and put a few coats on it, you can't tell them anyway. So it'll be just fine. Looking good. As good as I could expect for an old boiler. Alright, so we get this done, and then that leaves us with digging the footings, pouring the concrete in, and then doing the little the stands that I'm going to do. Lawrence, a friend of mine, had a really good idea, and I'd love to do it, but I just can't. But I'd love to hang it and build just part of the building back, just like it was in that picture. That way I could show how it worked, but that would be way more time and money than I can afford to do. So I'm looking at 3 to 4 yards of concrete just to do what I've got to do for this. So probably 3 yards I think I can get by with. So you're still looking at by the time you get done, you're gonna have $500 in the concrete. So it's to me it's worth the investment. This will be here after I'm gone, so we're gonna probably make a little plaque for this thing, so and put it on there, to let people know the deal with it, where it come from, and the history of it. So all right, well, let me let this sit up a little bit, and then we're going to hit it with another coat. All right, folks, there you go. Boiler is done. And there's cat scanning it. And I don't like this sun in this camera, huh? It's black. And we're finished with it. So now we're going to do the foundations. I was going to bend some pieces and weld them back on, but we're just going to leave it like it is for now, and go ahead, and my plan is to do 2 foundations, and then I'm going to do 2 pillars, and I'm going to make forms for them out of plywood, and then I'll just have concrete guy up the road here to bring me, probably going to be about 3 yards of concrete by the time I get through pouring the foundations that I'm going to use, and then actually doing the little piers, and you'll be able to see what that looks like when I'm done. The front section of the boiler is not the same diameter as the rear section because it overlaps here, so it's going to be an inch smaller on the front side. Okay folks, truck is pretty much done except for tires and rims. I'm going to change the rims out, but bed finished up. I put new flares on the rear, put the stickers on the rear, the bed caps off the other bed, put a new bumper on it, and got that finished up. And Chinese bumpers are not, they're not good. Put a entire front grille, new headlight assemblies, and everything in the front because it was busted up. Still got to clean the tape marks off where the light was taped in, but the grill was broke and everything, so that's all finished. So we was at $2,700, now we're at $3,200. So anyway, so $3,200, and then the tires I gave, I don't know, probably $300 for the tires. I bought them online, so $3,500, and running good, driving good. I've put about 200 miles on it so far, so I think she'll be fine. But anyway, just wanted to show you what we've got. And my new daily driver here, and as long as I don't hook it to the boat and leave it hooked to the boat like I done my other one, because I usually drive my old cars. I don't usually drive anything newer, but we've got some places to go and people to see, so I want to get something rolling. All right, appreciate everybody watching. Until next time, bye.